Everyone, Paul here. Today I want to go over something I call the Deluxe 1348 strategy. And this will help you with, options trading. Now, the reason I call this the Deluxe 1348 strategy is because there's just one little add-on that makes this a little bit better. It's added on with the 1348 strategy. Now, if you want to learn about the 1348 strategy, you basically have to have your EMAs to be in 13, 48, and then also 200. That's what all three of these lines are. And it's also helpful to have your RSI and your MACD. But the add-on that I put here is the EMA difference. And you can access this by going to indicators, and basically you'll look up difference in two moving averages, and that's the one you'll hit. It'll give you this one down here. To make this work, you're going to have to change your settings, at least for me. You want to leave your inputs at, these are the default. It's 50 and 200. But what you want to do is you want to change your colors. So you want to do, at least this is what I do, because when you get the default, I don't want to change them because it gets too confusing. But the default colors kind of throw you off a little bit, and you don't know. This way kind of helps out you see it better, the patterns, if it's going to go up or go down. So you want to change your colors to green, red. And for the first one here, you want to have it on thickness down there. The second, the red, the first red, you want to make the thick one level up. And the second green, you want the thickness one level up. And then the second red, you just want your thickness down there on the bottom. So it will look like this on the bottom. So this will look good for when you're doing options. And let me kind of explain. Now, this will point out all the areas of when it's going to start going down and when it's going to go up. And the reason we change the colors is so that indicates red indicates down, green indicates up. So this has a better indication of when something's going to start going up and when something's going to start going down. So if we look for a couple examples here, we see right here, if we got in right about here where the first green line hits on the EMA difference, if we got in here, we would get in a little bit early. It would pick it up right before the 1348 cross, so we would have a little bit of an advantage, a little bit more gains. So we get in right about here, and we could have rode this out, and when it crosses, we'll have double confirmation that it's going in the right direction. So from what we want to see is, what I see is, you want to look for the greens when they're kind of big, and the greens when the greens start, or greens or reds, when they start shrinking, that usually means the trend is going to change, and it's going to go from like down to go up, or up to go down. So if we're going to find a couple examples like that, so we're going to look at the EMA difference here. See if we can find a couple moments that would be helpful. So right here, we can do a couple examples. I want to try and find some different scenarios. So right here, we see green, and then we start seeing it turn red. So we see it turn red right before the put signal even appears. Not the put, the cross. We see it before the cross even happens. So we go here, and we get in right here. And then we can just ride this all the way down. You see that the red is starting to shrink. So that could be a signal that it's going to start to maybe go back up. But that right there, with just the EMA difference, helped you in just an hour and 15 minutes, the price difference of 468. So that helps out. And see, it went down a little bit more. But when it starts going back up, now what this actually helps with is a lot of times when I'm doing options trading and I see the candles change, I think it's going to start going in that direction. But you see from the EMA difference that it is continuing, it's still red, so that means it's still a downtrend. So this helps with that, see that it's still going to continue to go down because your EMA difference is still red. So when the EMA difference changes to a green, you know that it's going to be shifting directions. So from right about, you could try here, it's not 100% accurate, but let's just do a couple other examples here. We see it go from a red to a green right here, and it catches it early on. So you can get in right about here, that's when it goes from a red to a green, and you can ride that out. And you could stop it there. I mean, the cross has just happened, so you could keep on going if you want. And when you see the green starting to thin out, it usually means the trend is going to, when the lines down here get smaller, it usually means the trend is going to start changing. It's going to probably go to the opposite direction pretty soon. As you know, it gets smaller and smaller, and now that kind of ends it there. But let's just go back a little bit. Let's do a couple examples here, see what we can find. Now you still want to pay attention to the 1348. You still want to do the 1348 strategy. You still want to find the crosses. That's the number one thing. So let's find a example of a put, an example of a call. And then I'll walk you through this with crypto too. So let's start here. Okay, so what you want to look for is a change from either a green to a red or a red to a green. And that's really what you want to look for. And you really want to look for when the lines are pretty big, not when they're smaller. So we see right here, green goes to a red right here. And if we rode that out, green goes to a red. And if we rode this one out right here, all the way down here, and we see it just cross, so it's probably going to keep going down, but you got a head start, and you already have a difference in price by 287. So it continues to go down because you followed the lines down there. The EMA difference is still going down. So if it keep on following it, and then you see it start to turn green. So let's do one more example of this, and then I want to do this example with crypto. Let's do it with a red to a green. Okay. So we see right here, it goes from red to a green. So you can get in right here, right before the cross happens. And that is about a $1, $1.53 difference in price. And it catches these it'll catch these, the brief times that when it crosses, but it doesn't last long. It catches that pretty good too, like this here. You could get there, and that's a $2 difference in price. So that's kind of how you do it with options trading. Let me show you real quickly on what to do with crypto if you want to do this with trading. Now with day trading with crypto, you only can focus on when it's going up. And with, crypto lately has been going up, so it's pretty easy to find those spots. But what you want to look for is when it's red going into a green, and you also want to look for your 1348 to cross. So let's just get an example of a red going into a green. So we see a red and it's going into a green, so we can get in right here. It's before the cross of the 1348. So you could get this moment here. Get it right here and all the way here to the top. You get some gains there. You got to look for a red going into a green. And like this one right here. So we got a red and we got our green right here. And then you can just ride this out. It works well, but I say it works better with options trading, but you could still use this for day trading. Now, this is probably a small pump. And keep in mind, you also want to pay attention to your RSI and your MACD while you're doing this as well. So I think you need 5 indicators. You need the 1348, you need 13 EMAs, you need 48 EMAs, the 200 EMA, RSI, MACD, and the EMA difference. So you'll need the pro membership for this. So we got a red going into a green right by the cross here. And you ride that out, get some gains there. So anyway, this is kind of what I use for I use it for options trading, but you can use it for regular day trading if you want. If you guys found this helpful, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys in future videos.